What's good, y'all? Fusion here, back with another video. Been a minute. We're gonna get back to these consistent uploads. Oh my bad, I got a weird suggestion. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna get back to these consistent uploads. I do want to talk about just a few things that have been going on with these Lakers and this whole playoff series. I have not been watching every single game. I have been going back and forth and looking at some games, watching most games. I did watch this most recent Lakers game. I missed game, I think, 3. I watched game 1 and game 2. So I think I only missed one game. But I did go ahead and rewatch this game. So I do have some context on what is going on, how we lost, what was going on with this team. I'm going to go ahead and mostly focus in with the box score. I'm going to be talking about a lot of like the box score, showing exactly what I saw box score wise. What we have to do to win our next games. Why are we losing these games? Where is the issues falling? And is it just a coaching issue? Is it just a coaching issue? So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. First, let's go ahead and check out this box score just real quick. Lakers versus the Wolves, 116 to 113. Ant had 43. That was obviously like the catalyst and what caused them to win. But we didn't have horrible scoring either. We had 38 from Luka, 17 from Austin Reeves, 27 from Braun, and 23 from Rui. Rui shot the ball for once. He shot the ball 16 times. That is where I need him to be. He needs to be at that 12, 13, 14 plus range for us to be competitive, especially now. It seems like Austin Reeves isn't scoring and shooting as well as he was previously. He still has 17 points, shot 43 from the field, 42 from the 3. Same thing as Luka shooting about 42 from the 3 as well. But shot 12 of them. So we are missing a little bit of offense from Austin Reeves. So Rui did sort of step it up. This was a game that we were supposed to win. All because Rui did step up. When Rui steps up and plays and is a threat on the offensive end, be it a perceived or a fake threat, quote unquote, but still a threat, still looking for a shot, this makes the team hard to beat. LeBron had a solid stat line, 3 blocks, 3 steals, 8 assists, 12 rebounds. 3 of those were offensive boards. He shot the ball well, 56 from the field, 50 from 3. He shot 18 free throws. I do like when he does get to the line. Luka went to the line as well with 7 free throws, but that's it from the Lakers. Just only 2 people went to the line on the Lakers. But I did want to talk about what is the reason and why we are losing these games and why I think that our playoff run stops here. Non-existent bench. Dorian Finney-Smith and Jackson Hayes sort of play. Jackson Hayes started, but it ended up with Dorian Finney-Smith having the most minutes. He shot 2 for 7 from the field, 2 for 6 from the 3. He takes a lot of interesting threes. He had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. 8 rebounds, 6 assists. So he was there. The issue is he's just an inconsistent 3-point shooter, and we need someone who can knock down timely threes. That should have been Gabe Vincent. He could have been that timely 3 guy. There are nights where he is that guy. There are nights where he's just an energy guy, and then there are nights where he's just non-existent, like this game. Jared Vando, 0 offensive ability, 0 fear from the defense to have to adjust to his offense. He's not going to make an offensive move. Because of that, it's easier to defend when he's on the field. On the court. He is going to pretend to take a jumper, but it won't matter because you're not going to close out on that anyway. But he only played 6 minutes. Jordan Goodwin, 7 minutes, shot the ball twice, It doesn't matter. We needed Dalton Connect to play. We picked up Dalton Connect to be that offensive guy, to add more pressure to the Wolves. And at the end of the day, we have two guards that don't play defense already. So what's wrong with having a third one out there with Dalton Connect? Austin Reeves does not play defense. He tries to be out there. There are nights where he is trying to play defense, but it's just not working out for him. Luka, I don't even think he tries to play defense anymore. His attitude, like I've stated before in almost every other video involving Luka and the Lakers, his attitude will be the reason that this trade does not work out. If he can fix that, then the Lakers will be solid. But until he can understand that his issue with referees, fouls, I don't know, him making a mistake and then not getting back on defense. There are multiple times in multiple games where he has done that, which will cause us to lose. Now, I will also point out that LeBron does do that, but at the end of the day, I mean, I hate to say it, and I think it's not a precedent that needs to be set, but it is what it is. He has earned that right to be crybaby. Like, you know, he's been in the league for however long. He has been one of the greats, if not the great, for however long. He has willed his team. I think this is another point here where he willed this team into the playoffs, into having a strong regular season, him and Luka. So you got to give him kudos, and I think it is what it is at this point, but you're going to expect LeBron to cry when there are certain plays that don't go his way because he has earned that right. Luka has not earned that right. He does not have the accolades for it. He is not a champion. He is not an MVP. There are nights where he shoots you out of games because he forces shots. His shot selection is one of the worst for the current NBA stars. I believe he has one of the worst shot selections. Decision making. I think he doesn't understand who he's playing with yet, and he's overdoing what he can do, and it's just causing more problems. He had 4 turnovers this game. That's relatively low for him, in my opinion. I believe if he is the primary ball handler, if he is someone who is handling the ball most nights or most times, the most time out the night, I would expect that to be higher, especially how he plays. But then you look at his assist numbers. He had 2 assists this game as a starting point. Again, he's not really playing the point guard, in my opinion. He's definitely more of the Steph Curry point guard role, where him being on the court passively is causing playmaking to be done around him. I've talked about that before in a couple other Warrior conversation videos. If you would like me to talk about that more, let me know in the comments. So yeah, Luka not playing defense, complaining, crying, whatever. Foul trouble with Austin Reeves. I don't know. Well, when you're playing against a team like Minnesota, this is when your big, quote unquote, isn't that important until certain players get on a roll. Now, let me explain. Julius Randle, for all intents and purposes, he plays like a middle school or high school player. Hard right, hard left, throw that bitch up. Hard right, hard left, pull up. Hard right, hard left, miss the shot. That is the Julius Randle playbook. To stop a Julius Randle playbook, you need somebody with size. You need somebody with athleticism. You need someone who can body him up when he does try to body you up, because he is definitely an old school Zion Williams, Charles Barkley-esque player as far as size and how he attacks like the rim. I don't think he is as good as those guys. I would argue that Zion Williams is better than Julius Randle right now. But just for how he attacks, how he plays, this is his style of play. Anthony Edwards, he took 10 threes last night. There has been this trend of him taking more threes, but you got to understand a lot of his easy and free buckets where he feels like he can get his momentum is at the rim. It's attacking, getting dunks, whatever. That is his game. So you need a rim protector. You need someone who is athletic enough to wall up an offensive player that tries to go in for a layup. You need these type of things. The Lakers do not have that. The Lakers instead got a Jackson Hayes, who is supposed to be that for us, but he is not. Alex Len didn't get any minutes. Jordan Finney-Smith is not a center. So it's just these things here that, bless you, that if you look at them, you really understand what we have as a team, what we are playing against as a team, and what they have. It really wasn't a good chance. And if you look even deeper, at the beginning of the season, our roster really didn't change that much. We got Luka Doncic. We have improved, but at the end of the day, it's still the first round exit. Do you think it would still be a first round exit if we had D'Lo? It may be a play-in exit or even a play-in fight, but either way, it's not that big of a change that is happening. Why is that? Because the problem wasn't that we didn't have a... Actually, let me rephrase that. The problem wasn't all on D'Lo. He did have issues. He did cause us to lose games. But roster-wise, team-wise, what we are trying to do here as a franchise was not all on D'Lo. It wasn't. We messed up when we got Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Bronny, Dalton Connect, and I'm missing two other players on this team that we had previously that had just been asked. Jackson Hayes, two-night back-to-back game, Rui Hachimura. There are games and moments where this roster does not cut it and did not cut it, and we are seeing that now. This should have been addressed a long, long time ago. There are times when there is an offensive lull where we need a three, where we need a quick shot. We don't have that. Luka, Austin, and LeBron can only do so much when you know that they are the offensive threats. So that is why you need a Rui Hachimura to step up, which again he did. Cannot guarantee that's going to happen next game. Cannot guarantee that. But that's pretty much all I got for right now. I was going to look at the YouTube video, but I think I did touch on everything that I really wanted to speak about here. Luka's mindset. At this point, you need someone like a Draymond Green or a stronger personality to push back on Luka to get that to work. Either it's going to work or he's going to leave. I think at this point that is what you need to do. And as much as I want to, which is, I'm not being like dead serious, but as much as I want to, I can't blame this full shit on LeBron. He does have a hand. He does have a play. There is there's a finite amount that you can blame on LeBron for this series and for this year. And it sucks because I believe he has maybe one more year after this of either him playing like this or him playing just in general. And I don't think he deserved to go out that way. Shout out to Austin Reeves. I believe he got, I don't know how else to say it, I believe he got cucked. There was no reason for them to pick up Dalton Connect. There was a reason for them to have Luka, but you gotta define what Austin Reeves' role was at the time. There were times where he was the second option. There were times where he was the first option. There were times where he was the third option. He needs a more defined role. And for him to do that, LeBron would have had to defer earlier in the season, like I've stated multiple times in multiple videos. It is coming out now. It is now biting us that we did not have time to develop all these other players for our playoff run. You gave the ball all the time to LeBron. You gave the ball to AD when he was on the team. You did not build and make plays for Rui Hachimura to be aggressive. You did not build or make plays to make Dalton Connect be aggressive. There was not a lot of lob plays for Jackson Hayes. He's an athletic big. In my mind, in my brain, every single time I'm playing on a team with an athletic big, there should be some pick and roll action at least 4 or 5 times in a quarter to get him involved. You don't need to throw the lob all the time. You don't need to throw the dump pass all the time. But creating that action, creating that athletic big scenario where he can get an easy bucket would go a long way. But we don't take advantage of that. Alex Len, that was a failed pickup. Shake Milton, that was a failed pickup. Markieff Morris, that was a failed pickup. I like Markieff, but I mean, it is what it is. Bronny, he will develop. I think he was made to be a professional basketball player and not a college high school basketball player. If you see how he plays the game, if you see how he analyzes the game, I think it is made for pro ball, but he still needs those reps, and he's not getting them. So that's the problem there. But that's pretty much all I got. Again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.